Hello, 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 hello. Happy Sunday. Or for anyone on the other side of the international date line, happy Monday. If you can say happy on a Monday. I don't know if that's allowed, but we'll go with it anyway. Hello, hello, Annie. Hello, Lydia. I hope you're both having a wonderful weekend or have had a wonderful weekend. I know it's nearing the end. We're almost onto that work week again. Uh, Sometime soon. Looking great in that color and looking great in that color in bed sometimes. Yes. So, one of the things we did here this summer a bit was we had some pajamas and painting streams. We're not going to be painting tonight, but I really like the just spending Sundays kind of as a cozy day. When we're not doing all of the games and all of the chaos that we've been doing. But I'm totally not set up to paint. I know that there's paint over here, but that's not quite the point. It's still a little different because I do have the drawing tablet right now. Kat, congrats on getting second, and Annie, nicely done, sneaking in here to get first. You might be able to tell as I'm moving around, and the camera is actually like trying to kind of follow me a little bit. I did switch my camera. I got tired of my camera being on the boom arm and not quite where I wanted it to be aligned. So I'm trying out using the OBSBot as my perfect one. Second never showed up for you, but third isn't bad. All right, well, I'm glad that you were able to get third. I don't know why it didn't show up. The way redeems work is weird, especially when we toggle them on and off and all that stuff. It was an interesting little experiment, though. Annie mentioned that, yeah, you could get first and then just immediately click second and third. So you could just put your name up there 3 times. We'll have to look at it at some point and do some other system for it. Maybe it'll be like a marbles type thing, like what Matt does, or maybe it'll just be like a, first through whatever, and each person who hits it up to, let's say, 5 gets on the board, and it will just calculate where you were. So we could do something like that too, and have it use a counter instead of it being 3 different redeems, and that way that would solve the issue of being able to be first, second, and third because you'd only be able to push the button 1 time. So that could totally work. I see that the YouTube's just connected, so let me make sure that that's running. There we go. Yeah. Perfect. Yes, it is working. Wonderful. And now it's connected in chat as well. Live from your phone as your Windows update and your RGB keyboard keeps flashing and annoying you. Ooh. That's a tricky one. I do have 2 RGB keyboards. This one, my one that I use on this computer, I need to update. It all looks blue on here, but if I turn it, you can see it's like purple, blue, and white, and very dusty. I need to clean this keyboard. I also noticed that my space bar, you can see this line here. Whoops, this little glowy line right there, where my thumb rests, where it's worn through the black paint and the light's starting to shine through the key, which is kind of neat and also kind of obnoxious. But I was playing some test games, and I noticed that when spacebar is used as the jump button, it's not very responsive. And sometimes when I need to do like a double jump, the space bar will stick a little bit. So I'm going to probably swap it out. This one is a Corsair. But I have a Logitech one in the storage room behind me, so I might add that one. When the PC starts up, it goes on, then off, then on again. And since Windows is restarting, you get the idea. Oh yeah, no, that's absolutely crazy. As usual, can't stay. You're off to bed. Have fun, Annie. Have so much fun in bed. If you want. No, I hope you get some great rest. If you want to have fun, that's fine too. Before you go, next Saturday, I will be doing an earlier stream. We're going to do our kitchen stream on Saturday because Sunday is Christmas Eve, Monday is Christmas Day. So we're going to be doing the bike and baking stream on Saturday, and I'm going to be going live much earlier in the day in order to get that all done. So hope you can make it. If you can't, because I know it's Christmas weekend and there's probably littles and other things going on, I totally understand that too. But I wanted to make sure that we got that squeezed in as soon as I could get it on the schedule, and I think that's going to be probably the best spot, which also means Christmas baking added to the mix. So not just baking a cake, but cookies and decorating and some other stuff. So we'll be doing like a whole holiday thing. So, there, and then the 26th, I have to make sure that I'm back and ready in this room for Christmas Day. So I have a lot of work to do this week, just getting that all put together and then swapping and making sure computers are set up and everything. So I hope I'll see you then. For now, though, go get that rest, get through this week, one more week to Christmas. I know that I don't have a countdown, but if your stream was up, I know that there would be a countdown for it. So it'll be fantastic. If I stream early, you might be able to raid me. The plans are planning. Uh-oh. Well, we might have to plan some extra chaos then for stuff like that. That'd be fantastic. It would be great. So I hope that that's wonderful. And Annie, if you have fun in bed, we are not here to judge. No, not here to judge at all. And I don't think Annie's a voyeur. So wait, no content warnings. Let's not discuss this any further. Go get some rest. um, You get to start on your baking on Wednesday this week. Nice. Very, very cool. I love that. Um, I haven't done it in years. What I used to do is one of my good friends, she recently moved to Hawaii, so I don't get to hang out with her now. But one of her friends, it was like her son's friend's mom who became a friend would invite us over to her house and we would go and bake. Um, what chaos? Moi? Never. Uh, but no, we'd go over to her house and bake, and it would be an entire day of baking. And it would be three of us in her kitchen just making all of these different things, from tarts to sugar cookies with, or peanut butter cookies with Reese's with Hershey's Kisses on top. The like thumbprint cookies that you then put a chocolate in the top of. No bake cookies, little cookie bars, peppermint bark. Like it was so many things. No mini painting tonight, Shell Smiley. I will be back doing mini painting in the new year, but we've just got so much going on with the holidays and getting ready for everything. I'm doing more of just a cozy stream and trying out some new stuff. So that's kind of what we're doing today. Let me keep an eye over here. Oh yeah, there's lots of mods over there. Good, I don't have to keep that open anymore. Not that I want to close down the other streams that I'm hanging out in, just that sensibly I need to do that. Kingdom Balance, hello, loving the red pajamas. Thank you. I have lots of cute and cozy jammies that I got mainly for kind of being here on the stream, and we were doing pajamas and painting. So we're going to bring that back in the new year. We've got lots and lots more to paint. I need to do like all of my year-end wrap-up stuff, all of that, and it's just a couple of weeks to go. So I don't want to get too much more involved. And I just cleared off my desk. So what you guys did not see is over here, I cleared off this section and I had put my mixer over here. I have a 24 channel analog mixer. It's a nice big Mackie mixer, but the signal that goes out mono that I was going from my mixer to my Go XLR, which is also another mixer, it had some buzzing in the line and it really bothered me, and it's not worth it to me to try to repair it for the use case that I have. So I just disconnected it and put it in my guest room. But yeah, so this week is going to be crazy. I just started to mention it, but we're going to be doing our bike and baking stream for hitting 700 followers. That is going to be this next coming Saturday. I did put an event in the Discord as well. So where I'm at, that will be the 23rd. And I know on the other side of the international date line, that will be Christmas Eve. So we'll be doing Christmas baking, adding to the mix of we were already going to put together a bike and bake a cake, but now I'm adding cookies to the mix and possibly some other things. So that one's going to be crazy, but it's going to give me an excuse to bake some stuff for my family for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. And then we'll be back after that on the 26th. So we won't be doing our normal Sunday, Monday stream schedule with that being Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, because I have to go out of town. But I'll be back Christmas night and going live at midnight, going into the 26th my time. So whatever that is, but the events are in the Discord so that you can translate it to your own time. I think most of you are probably already over there, but just in case, there's the Discord link. Um, so yeah, so we're gonna do that on the 26th. We've got some special things planned. We're gonna be playing a holiday themed game. Um, we're going to be part of a holiday raid train. We are doing a Christmas card redeem, so people will be able to grab that and it will save that up to the Discord for us. We did a test of it last week. It worked out great. So we're just waiting for some updated art with some that I hired out and some that's just going to be extra special for our regular community members here. Um, you weren't near my Discord this entire time. Oh my gosh. No, it's totally understandable. There are so many Discords. I don't even know how many I'm in. I've had to group them because I just can't interact with all of them all the time. It's so much. And a lot of it's the same stuff, pets, art, memes, things like that. But we have so many amazing people here that are doing art, showing off their pets. So I love being able to have that and connect with our community that way, as well as just being able to hang out and stuff like that. And I do try to make it around to all of the other Discords on occasion, but it's hard to keep up. I think I'm in about 70 at this point. The limit is like 200 with Nitro. And so, I'm getting up there. Some of them are like tech ones. There's like StreamerBot, Hollow Knight, The Interloper for people who like to watch. You were at your limit before Nitro? Oh, totally. I am definitely in yours. Yes. Now you have Nitro. Yeah. So sky's the limit now. Oh, speaking of channels, you finally did audio channel separation thing on OBS. Now people can get off your butt when audio is imbalanced. A victory. Downside, I had to change the audio source for games often. The suffering of being a professional streamer. Do the one day I will do the VOD doesn't have audio thing. Yes. Absolutely. So, I have the dual channel. So OBS technically has 6 channels, but everything we stream to really only has 2. So the OBS ones are more for like if you're doing video sources, that can be really cool because if you're doing a recording like for YouTube, you can do your 6 different things. So one for your game, one for your voice, one for your system audio, music, whatever it is you're doing, and then you could adjust the levels and have things fade in and out in your video and control them all separately. Um, we'll probably go into this more tomorrow, but I have the Go XLR. I want to switch out for a newer piece of tech. I just don't want to spend the money on it. The Go XLR was expensive enough and discontinued, but the one I wanted was the Mackie Creator, and Mackie just got purchased by Rode. So I'm curious to see what Rode is going to do before I go and buy another mixer. The reason I want one is different from what most other people would want. So a good example of that. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to show you right now because I have to use the Go XLR for this anyways, because Samsara, grabbing your paintbrush, coming in here, just walking right in with wet paint all over the place, and the queen seeing you walk through the door. And off with your head. Welcome in. Am I okay with people sending me DMs on Discord? Absolutely, anytime. No, the people can send me DMs on Discord anytime. That's a great way to get a hold of me. I have it on my phone. I have it on the computer. I often do have like server notifications turned off for most servers. So if you ever need my attention, those are the best ways. You're gonna slide into my DMs. That's fine. You can slide into my DMs anytime. Listen, you love the DMCA free music you have, but ADHD is getting bored and wants to listen to the finished metal. Hey, totally. I listen to a lot of music discovery. Right now we're just listening to my liked playlist, and I've got it pretty quiet. But I did turn the gain up today because I heard that it was too quiet last week. And I mean, I have it like way down at the moment. But because I listen to music discovery, my music routine has been Mondays listen to my Discover Weekly, Fridays listen to my Release Radar. So Discover Weekly is like, here's some stuff you probably don't know that you might like. Release Radar is, here's some stuff that's new from people you have listened to and enjoyed. So you'll probably like their new stuff too. Then there's New Music Friday, and that's not curated to me. That's just a new, like, here's some stuff that was released this week. Then there's the New Music Dance playlist, and I'd been on a routine of listening to those four playlists on repeat, and it was working great. And then a few weeks ago, it was like, we've been paying attention to what you've been listening to, and we think that you would like to listen to New Music Iceland. So now every week I get the New Music Icelandic playlist, which is about half of the releases that are common on the new release playlist, and then half of them are in Icelandic. And it has been fantastic. I'm like, I don't know anything they're saying, but it sounds so pretty. Um, yeah, that's been absolutely fun. Um, Kingdom Balance, thank you. I think that might be the like kindest compliment I have ever heard. Thank you, Eurovision, for introducing you to so much music, right? I did not expect that. Like, I tried to get somebody to watch it a little while back, and they're more of a horror fan than a comedy fan, and they were like, "This is ridiculous," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's completely ridiculous and worth every single moment of watching it and getting through it." I mean, if for no other reason, just for the song at the very end. Uh, so good. And then looking it up and finding like the actual artist, and I'm gonna have to watch that movie again. I watched that movie way too much. It has become just like one of those ones I watch on repeat. I wonder if they have it on DVD. It should be on my shelf. I know it's Netflix, but it should be on my shelf, not just on my like watch list. Eurovision. Have you seen it? I need uh a reverse golden movie ticket here to make you watch Eurovision because it's that good. We can't do a watch party for it on the stream because that's only Prime. But we can definitely pop it up in the Discord one of these days. If you and I are just doing like a hang or something, rather than a formal thing, we'll just pop it open. Because yeah, it's so good. It's Will Ferrell. It is definitely comedy and ridiculousness, but it just hits the spot. Um, and here we'll go with the ridiculous because we can. And I don't mind skipping Magic Giant. That's fine. This is from the movie. Okay, I'm not going to do the whole song. You'll have to watch it. But that gives you a little bit of a like feel for the ridiculousness. Your friends kept bugging you about this year's Eurovision, going, "Cat, Finland's entry has the same energy as Majima." Responded, going, "I was planning on it, but that just made you go straight to Finland." There you go. Hate your Will Ferrell, but love Eurovision. I don't hate Will Ferrell, but like when he was on like Saturday Night Live and his characters on that, I really enjoyed that stuff. A lot of his movies, I do have some of them. Um, It's just that his characters are so over the top ridiculous that it can be really hard to enjoy them because the disconnect from like what's real and possible and people you'd really encounter are too far, too extreme. Um, but yeah, I even though there was still him, uh, the way that that movie worked is so good. He's that way. That's why. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Every once in a while it works, but not usually. I guess like Chevy Chase kind of had that similar energy for his time. Both SNL characters or SNL actors. Um, yeah. So let's see. I did all the announcements. Next weekend, going to be chaos. Holidays. We are definitely doing holiday streams. Um, there's like an uncanny valley type of thing for comedy. Maybe that might be. I hadn't thought about that. Which is why you don't like him. The only SNL skit you liked was More Cowbell with Christopher Walken. Yeah. And there, all he's doing is just striking the cowbell. Like, that's why some people are afraid of clowns. Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. Um, so I have like Saturday Night Live stuff. Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. But I have a whole bunch of these, including, whoa, come on back. The SNL Will Ferrell Best of Volumes 1 and 2. Um, but he had like Church Lady was one that I always enjoyed way back when. Um, his Alex Trebek. I'm just looking at a few of them. But yeah, there's so many. Or it's like the comedy is look at how weird and awkward this person is and point left. Yes. Yeah. And I don't enjoy that kind of stuff. So it can be really tough. And I know like I guess in this one they did have like the other characters are looking and laughing, but it's different from like how we look at them. You know, we're looking at them and seeing their spirit and their emotion and everything, and it makes such a difference. So good, so good. Um, let's see. Oh, I was talking mixers before I got sidetracked, and just that I want to be able to have all of my microphones plugged in with their unique settings, because I keep switching to this microphone, and I love the sound that comes from this microphone. It's really nice, but instead of being able to like push it away like this and still have a conversation, I have to keep it really close. And I don't want to do that when I'm just talking and moving around and doing art and stuff like that. So I don't usually have it plugged in. And this mixer only takes one XLR cable, but I have three microphones. So, like, when we do the kitchen stream next weekend, I'll be on my wireless microphone. Um, and I mean, for that one, I'll be on my wireless and I'll be using my other audio input, which does have two. So I could. The problem with it is it's USB powered, so it doesn't have the output that I need. I don't know. It's all weird. And like I said, with Mackie being bought by Rode, I think that they're going to come up with something new in the near future that's going to be really cool. Mackie did a better job with their IO ports and the physical hardware. Rode did a better job with their software components. So having the two of them now as one company, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens there. Mackie is used more in like professional sound situations, like music venues, recording studios, stuff like that, where Rode is used more by content creators. So it's going to be really cool to see what they do, and so I'm just super excited, but also holding off on any big purchases for the moment. Yeah. Anything else? Anything else for now? Never pull yourself away from these conversations. Yeah, it's fascinating, like just how we can get pulled into something so quickly. And Yeah. You guys are being too nice. Thank you. Um, would have already left it with somebody else. Fair. Uh, so speaking of conversations, I know you are. Um, Tomorrow we will be doing a normal stream, which means we'll be doing some stream setup stuff. Mostly we will be focusing tomorrow on setting up for the holidays. So trying to get some like holiday sounds, holiday visuals, things like that into place and setting up our OBS. So we'll be doing a stream, going through that kind of stuff. Trying to think if anybody has any specific questions that they want us to look at, we'll of course also look at that too and look at how we can troubleshoot or go through some stream stuff. Um, One of these days, it'll probably be after the holidays. I think when will be our next Monday stream after tomorrow? We'll have one New Year's Day. Um, I don't know if New Year's Day, if anybody's going to be up for audio. So maybe January 8th if we don't do it sooner. We'll do a full audio setup stream where we go through like all of the different sources, stuff like that. So yeah. Um, you can send me a temp version of the card after your stream tomorrow if you need it to help us set up. Oh, no, Amy, don't stress it at all. What I'm going to be doing tomorrow is going to be like sound alerts, is audio stream? Yeah, we can play it by ear. Thank you, Samsara. I don't know where Jester is right now, but I appreciate you stepping in with all of the parent jokes. Uh, but no, I won't be doing the card. I'll do that off stream because I'm going to have to do multiple setups so that each one of them can be done. And I think that'll be just fine. So Amy, January 8th is your birthday. January 9th is Shell Smiley's. Um, Amy, do you share a birthday with my mom? Is that my mom's birthday? Yes, I'm looking at the calendar because I do not trust myself. Did I actually put it on my calendar? Where are my birthdays? Yes, it is my mom's birthday, and it is also my Aunt Joan's birthday. So there's two there. Now three. Depending on where we are time wise, that's very true. Time zone wise, it can be birthday twins. There you go. Oh, yeah. So it will be Shell Smiley's in my time zone. So uh, it will be, you will be birthday twins. Or wait, no, other way around. You will just miss each other because the 8th would be the 7th for us. Right? Yeah. Yeah, you're in the future, Amy. I have to like that was way too hard for my brain. Hmm. Yeah, so I think time math. Oh, a lot of Capricorns. Yeah. About 3 hours behind, give or take. Yeah. You're gonna pretend twins. Way easier. I think this is a great plan. Um, you're in New Zealand. You're super future. That's right. Um, so yeah, this week is gonna be a lot. We're gonna do, like I said, some Christmassy setup stuff tomorrow. I'm gonna get out to my shed, bring all the Christmas stuff in, do some decorating and all of that, and then because I'm gonna go to my brother's house on Christmas Eve for dinner, and then Christmas Day I'm gonna actually go to my grandma's house, and they're in the same town. The town's about an hour and a half away, but where my brother lives is about another 50 minutes out into the distance. So it's going to be like a 2.5 hour drive to get to his place. And then either I'm coming home and going back or staying up there. I don't know yet. I have to see how things are going. But yeah, one way or the other. Okay. We'll be doing all of that stuff. So, let's see. Your birthday is in 8 days. So many birthdays so close together. Absolutely, yeah. Oh, 8 days is like, at least here, that is Christmas. Are you a December 25th? I've got a cousin that's December 24th, and I've always felt bad for him because he was never able to spend his birthday at home with his friends because either they were traveling for the holidays or he was traveling for the holidays. So we always made a point to make Christmas Eve about hanging out with him. And so we would go to a casino or a movie or something and just like intentionally make it not holiday themed. So all of the cousins would just go and do something with him instead. Um, you were supposed to be a Christmas baby, but decided to be late. Okay. You're supposed to be on the 30th, but you tell people you wanted your Christmas presents. Nice. That's a good way to go. You're like, hey, wait a minute. I don't want to miss this. Um, you were also meant to be a Christmas baby too. Wow. Okay. Yeah, you're a 25th baby, and everything for you has always been doubled with Christmas. That's awesome, though. I was worried that the birthdays on holidays might seem like you don't get the benefit of both being separate because like the 25th being so focused on everyone instead of like a special thing for you. So it's cool that they were able to double up and hopefully still make it really special for you. Um yeah. Okay, let's do this. I'm going to start. Do I want to stay in just chatting or change categories? I'll change categories. So the last couple days, I've been doing some different stuff. I've been just kind of goofing off here, having some fun, and I'm gonna leave the system audio off so you guys won't hear it because the sound effects they bother me, especially on repeat. So we'll just keep this music on. But let's see. We will load at the beginning. So I've been going through tutorials and trying to learn how to do how to play well, how to make a game in Unity. Oh, Chai is here and in the lurking corner. Well, wait, there's music. Can you hear it, Amy? Do I need to change my settings? Do I have it turned off somehow? Oh, okay. I just had it turned down. I'd put on a goofy song and didn't want it to play all the way through. While Chai is here, Chai actually sent me something. So I'm going to open it real quick while I know that she's here with us. It was very low, yeah. Your least favorite part of Christmas birthday is people calling you Jesus' sibling. Always made you feel weird. Yeah, that would be really strange. Just a very quick unboxing stream. So we'll go ahead and open it up here. I'm using my scissors because my knife is in my bedroom for some reason. I only know that because I cleared off my bedside table and it was sitting there this morning. Knife is in bed, exactly. Not the best spot to store a knife, let me tell you. Um, Even seeing it on my bedside table, I was like, what was I doing that I put a knife on my bedside table? Like, we're not talking about like a protection knife. We're talking about a just little razor blade. Gotta keep your skills sharp in the bench. Let's go with that answer. Oop, courier is here. Work lurk time. You promise you've been working this whole time. I know, Amy. Well, we got the big sealed air. I won't be popping those on stream. Oh my god, it's a hardcover. I did not expect this to be this cool. Um, oh, the camera's not going to like that, so I just have to hold it up, so I don't have to switch cameras. But it is A Tale of Two Pasts, or Traces of Two Pasts, and it's a novel based on Final Fantasy VII Remake. Thank you, Chai. I'm super excited about this. Um, like, obviously, I absolutely love Aerith. You all know that, and Tifa. Um, and I was looking at this. This is actually this is officially from Squaresoft, and is an extension of the real story. So inside, it even has the notes that, although I can't focus on it on this camera, um, that it is an extension of the story, and it basically is a story of Aerith and Tifa kind of doing their own thing and getting to know each other and their past and similarities and stuff like that, and kind of deeper relationship building. So it's an actual extension. I guess that they made 3 novels to go along with Final Fantasy VII Remake, and the other two people aren't as fond of, but they're saying this one, that they did a really good job of staying true to the characters and going through the story. And since it is from the game creators, it's kind of considered canon from outside of the game itself. So I'm so freaking stoked. Thank you, Chai. Speaking of skills in the bedroom, this will be going on my bedside table for late night reading when I can't sleep. So that's going to be wonderful. Um, you you keep a box cutter by the bed to open up snacks, the food kind. Thank you for the clarification. That would have been very, very concerning. We can bring the music back down a little bit here, and we will go to. You had to clarify. Yes, yes, you did. Um, I'm gonna just put this up on the big screen, and then we'll go to coding. You're gonna see something you're not supposed to yet, so ignore that. We'll go to this screen, and of course, it's gonna need adjusting. Do. So what are you looking at? You're looking at Unity. I've been trying to teach myself Unity, and I've been doing that through the use of tutorials. And one of those tutorials was to make a game. You're actually going to lurk now. It sounds wonderful. Thank you so much for being here, Shell Smiley. Thank you for the lurk. So yeah, so I've been working on just getting to know this and uh, building some game levels. There's a couple things I need to move. Like for some reason, this ends up in the wrong spot, which I haven't learned yet on screen sizes. So this can't decide if it wants to be 1080 or 4K. Um, we have a few levels. Let me zoom way the heck in here. But there's saw blades, there's spikes, there's cherries to collect, there's level ends, there's moving platforms. So I learned a bunch of stuff in the last couple of just the last couple of days. I've only been working on this one for 2 days. I just installed Unity 5 days ago, and already have a little mini game that's a functional thing. We'll go ahead and save that because I moved things around. This one, I'm dumping out some spikes. I'm changing it up. You'll notice the levels are pretty darn similar. Thank you for the spikes. Very, very appropriate. This is just using some free assets from Unity so that I can get to know it. But what I want to do is I want to build a 2D platformer, but I want to do more of a Metroidvania style. So I want to add some skills, some attacks, things like that. And at this moment, I have not figured out all of that capability yet, but very, very soon I'll be looking into that as well, because I just didn't have enough hobbies. And so I added another one. But yeah, let's go ahead and go to the start screen and run this. And I can build it, package it, send it out to everybody already. It's functionally built. And hopefully you guys cannot hear the very loud beepy noises because it's like an 8-note MIDI. Oops. I guess I can give you system audio. Why not? Even though it's obnoxious. Do. Monitor and output. Okay, we'll turn this up here. And actually, let me leave the game and turn the background music down. That would be better. BGM. Volume. Almost off. It's just old MIDI tracks, so they're just not very good quality. Okay, if I did the right buttons, make sure, yes, monitor and output. And hey, we'll even send this output out to the folks on YouTube as well. So if you're watching out there, you'll get to hear this as well. Thank you as well, Kingdom Balance, for the lurk. Okay, now let's play it. I'm just gonna play it in the builder. Like I said, it can be opened outside of the builder. That's fine, but I'm not going to for this demo. Wow, that's super loud. Stay away from me, Sawblade. Okay, that's better. So I already know where all the cherries are, so you guys get to see this, but it's just a demo game anyway. And yes, if you hit the spikes, they do kill the player. Oops. You can't fall to your death, luckily. You could fall forever. Sequined cat ears? Okay. I can do that. I need to smack myself in the head with them instead. There we go. Thank you, Chai. Oh, thank you, Chai. Oh, no. That platform will push you into these saws if you don't get there in time. So I got all 10 on that one. And then you see where the cherries label is here? So I adjusted it earlier, but I'm on a different monitor, so it doesn't adjust well for it. I don't even know if you can actually read the text because it's very, very tiny. And this saw now goes up and over this. So, nothing like having a saw chase you. This one, oh! I forgot I put those spikes there. Oops! Yep. You just have to move around them. You don't have to... Little cherry trap there. We have 8 of 10. There's supposed to be 2 more. I know one of them's in between the saws. So I kept the same elements. Oh. I'm not going to worry about that. Getting all the cherries. We're just going to go to the finish line here. I actually think it's funny the character can't fall through single space holes. So the character is actually bigger than one one block. There we go. We made it. And there we go. It's the end of the game. So right now, that's all that it has is the character can just run and jump. Um, but there are graphics for double jump and wall climb. So I'm going to look into adding those components, as well as a dash behavior. Um, but yeah, for I didn't even know how to make a game 2 days ago. Uh, it was pretty good, and there's just a tutorial online on how to do that. They made a little bit easier one than what I did, but it was the same idea, just copying the elements over and over and over and over and over. Yes, that was accurate. um, my mouth kind of typoed, but in their version, they just made a straight across level and then added a couple of saw blades and stuff like that. And I wanted to make a little bit of a vertical change. But as I'm looking at it, like I said, I want to do a Metroidvania. I want to do you find skills and do stuff. So I'm going to start to or continue to focus on learning those additional capabilities for the player, and then tying it to specific objects in the world, and moving between scenes and all of these different things. And there's so many things that you can get, other people have created and just let you use for free. So all of this stuff is just free stuff. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, everybody. Uh, yeah, it was really fun to put this together and make it so that I accidentally step on spikes. Thank you. Yeah, like I said, it was from a tutorial. The graphics are from a thing called Pixel Adventure, which is just a Unity free asset where they give you the maps, the characters, the collectible items, all of that are in here. So I should move to a different screen if I'm actually going to show you this stuff, because the 4K is a little tough to look at, but because the fonts are so small. So let me do that. We'll go down here instead. OBS, switch to that one. Yes, that one. Um, I was like, and the music just stopped dead in its tracks. Hey, Mimi, I know I saw you earlier, and if I didn't say hi, I'm so sorry, but meowdy. Oh, I'm minimizing OBS. That's the wrong thing to push. What I want to do is click here. There we go. That's better. I was like, where is my chat going? So I keep minimizing it. You're in and out trying to update your work's website. Oh, that's always fun. At some point, I should probably do some website work. And thank you on the cat ears. Chai redeemed these. We have a whole shelf up there of various different headbands and little fascinator hats and horns, like deer antlers and demon horns, and all sorts of different things like that. Um, so yeah, but I was just showing off this little game that I made, and like I said, it was from a tutorial, so I don't take credit as like, oh my god, I did all this, but I was learning it, and it was really really fun. So we have this Pixel Adventures as the actual assets that they provide. So they give you like all of these different background options. Um, they give you boxes that you can collect. It's a little tough to see them all on these little tiny displays. And I think I'm actually in the corner that covers that. So let me bring that over. So you can see like here's an actual box that you could put in and put a crate into your map and things like that. And then depending on what layers you put them on, they might have interactions and things like that. So it's really, really fun to be able to just quickly build a game, that I could basically drag this in, and have a box that we could jump into and then look at smashing the box and stuff. So it has this one actually is a box being smashed. So it shrinks further, and then disappears. Um, and they have a breaking box too. So it breaks into its various little pieces. So very cool. Why 2021 Unity? Hello and great question. In this particular tutorial, it was made in 2021. And when I first started working with it, I was in the latest install, and that's for the other tutorials I'm going through. They are using the up-to-date version. But this one, some of the methods and some of the Unity elements he was referencing weren't available in the current one. And rather than try to translate while I was trying to learn it, I stuck with just using the space that he was using. So I installed the space for 2021 as well. But good question. It would not be hard to convert this over. And it's little things like way the hell up here. Now missing, because of course it is a text level layer. And text is something from the older version of Unity that's kind of deprecated. So now instead of text, oh, where was it? Instead of the legacy text, it's Text Mesh Pro. So things like that, where it was just figuring out what was easier with what they were actually working with, and making the decision to go with it. Although, did I delete my text just now? Maybe. No, there it is. Where are you hiding? Oh yeah. Like I said, when I move between my monitors, it doesn't know how to handle it. So this is now positioned on the 4K screen, and this is now a 1080 box. So I haven't learned things like how to resize the screen to just be a standard resolution, or to do a more friendly adjustment in upscaling instead of just moving things around. The level itself doesn't change, but the camera screen space does. So that's kind of interesting. But like I said, I installed Unity 5 days ago. I built this little tiny game in the last like 48 hours. I stayed up all night and just kept going through one tutorial after another. It's the game that is built. It uses the Pixel Adventure free assets on Unity. And then the tutorial I followed is on YouTube. It's Code and Flow, all lowercase. Or Coding in Flow is his channel. And he does a bunch of different like web dev and videos like that. But he has a couple others where he discusses the development of this, works in some 3D development as well. My focus, of course, was 2D because that's what I want to be able to create. So it's just kind of a fun one to go through. And sorry for sending you into the OBS infinity mirror there. I also have a 2D micro game test that I'm doing, going through the actual like lessons from Unity. But I haven't gotten very far into it because they are the first like mission that they give you to learn Unity is to watch other creators talk about using Unity. And I'm like, this is not helpful. Like, oh, it was very nice and I liked it. It's like, I already installed it. I don't need the sales pitch. Thank you. Can I get on to what are the best ways to set up a project? But I guess it gets there. But yeah, people were pretty frustrated with the Unity tutorials for the built-in ones. And so I was really stoked to find this one. And he actually has a whole playlist for it. So if there's anybody there that... Oops. Quiet ads. If you're curious about it, that link will take you to the actual playlist itself. And it's just 13 videos going through from starting out with dropping your player onto the screen to building the actual world and adding interactions with spikes and collectibles and all of that stuff. So it was really fun to go through that. And yeah, so So I've been really stoked on it so far. Obviously, there is a lot still to do, but that's we've scratched the surface, and that was what was important for this one. Um, there's others that are like make a 2D platformer in 40 minutes. Um, that might have some things that I want to learn, like how to make my character swing a sword. So I've got different graphics that I'm going to be working with to make that happen, and hitboxes and all of that kind of stuff. Uh, that I'll be focusing on in the weeks to come, but I'm not in a rush because by the time I actually put this together, it's going to be forever. Um, but there are tutorials out there for making top-down like RPG style games. Um, in the free assets, if you've seen the game Fez, the game assets for Fez are all free assets in Unity. And I don't know if that was from the Fez developers or somebody else, but I thought that was kind of interesting. They have everything from the style of what you saw here. Let me zoom back into it. I keep closing out of Unity. But like here, where you have just that really simple kind of pixel art experience, to more elaborate. Well, apparently we'll be right back. We've got an ad break, so for the next few minutes, we're going to hold off. When we come back, we're going to dive into actually doing some sketching, some art type stuff. I'm going to trace a little bit because I'm going to try to just see if I can get my lines to be smooth. So yeah, so we'll do that. We might do that on some emotes, I think is what we'll probably focus on, because I'm nowhere near the level of where I want to actually start the game characters. So all I have is some concept pieces that I've downloaded that I like that kind of will give me a feel for my characters. But I already have kind of a plot forming in my head for how this game works. Um, it is going to be skill based. Like I said, I'm trying to build a Metroidvania type game. So I want it to have different skills that the player has to get. And it's going to start out small. We're not talking about building some like giant game out of the gate. I am one person using a combination of free assets and whatever I can draw. So it's not going to be the most beautiful game in the world or anything like that. I just want to see if I can get it functional, to where there are enemies that move on their own and attack you. Um, Obviously within range and all that stuff. So I need to learn that component. Having the player able to make attacks both left and right, things of that nature, the extra skills. So some of those things like double jump is built in, and it's just add a little bit of C# code and it can work. But I need an if statement that's or an unlock for it, that only makes it activate when they've worked or that when they've received a certain item. So that's kind of that Metroidvania piece that they have to get the key before they can go forward. And there's different ways to do that. Speaking of keys, doors and keys is another thing that I need to add in. So trying to do some different things of that nature. And that's just some of the stuff that we'll be doing. And then let's not that. Oh, right. Nothing is in here. Maybe you? Yeah, we'll just do this one and do some layers on it and just do some practice. Um, Lydia Rose, it's actually you were doing some emote stuff that I saw, and so I went and got the the files, and so I'm just going to trace over them here today, because I just want to kind of practice lines and everything. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I have been opening them in individuals and working a little bit on that, but I want to do more of the animated emotes and that side of things. So we'll do that a bit later, um, once I have more time to do that side of things. But yeah, you're working on emotes now too, which is fantastic. You DM'd me pics of the shirt you were making. Oh my gosh. My Discord is going to be full of all sorts of DMs for after this. I'm going to look right now though because I don't want to wait and I'm impatient. Samsara, that is fantastic. Oh my god. The mummy critters. So, so good. Do, 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 do. Just send a message real quick. Alrighty. And let me just give you that. Fantastic. Microfauna, hello, hello. If it ends up on the screen, that's fine. You're going to stick it in the Discord anyway. I suppose I can open it up real quick for everybody. So Samsara has been doing some amazing sewing projects, skirts and things like that. You probably saw pictures of a fantastic cloak, but let's put Samsara right front and center here because of this fabulous shirt that she made. You can see in this picture, you can actually really see the detail. Whoa, sorry for zooming in there. Um, but you can see here the little mummy cats and dogs. So, so, so good. I like that the three dogs are all sitting around the kitty bowl. And then with the black collar, just that sharp contrast there with the collar and the buttons. So good. Zoom in on your boobs instead. Yeah. Yeah, we know where we want to be zooming. It's otherwise just a sharp fit too, right? Burp. Excuse me. Hi, hello. Hello, Micah Fada. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful day. We're going to switch up what screen we're displaying here and go to the drawing tablet because I just really enjoy constantly resizing my windows. I can finally close the keyboard tray because I moved my microphone. That was smart. Let's bring that up. And then, how many pixels are we looking at here? It helps if I am focused on the right window. And I get all excited about putting it in my keyboard only to immediately then need to move it. So we'll just start in the top corner here. Um, make this nice and easy on ourselves. And there are a ton of layers, all of that. I'm just going to do some light sketches. I'm working in a very, very bright turquoise color. So we'll be able to see where my lines are versus theirs. It's more me still getting used to the drawing tablet because I really enjoy it, but it is new to me. And things like having, oh, it's very little low pixels on these, but having pressure adjust my pen size is something that I'm still getting used to. You know, it makes sense when I'm on paper, but having it here is very different. And using an actual drawing application, so much better. I was doing some sketching in OneNote because my Photoshop did not want to open the last couple of days after some updates. It forced me to update the beta because the beta functionality was moved into production, like this little piece down here. So that was causing me all sorts of headaches, and I had to turn off some hardware features to make it work, which is also kind of obnoxious. But yeah, this is all still very new to me. I've been a mouse and keyboard person for a long time. One recommendation you could give is to lower the opacity of the base layer into your sketching on top. It makes things easier to see. Oh, good call. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. And can I group all of you? Yes, I can. And that way I can just turn this whole thing down. And then we'll add a quick layer here to, I'm going to get rid of the grid. Not everybody would want to do that. I just want to. So I'm going to put a basic white background here. So it may look like the background is fully opaque, but I lowered them down to about 43%. So you can see they just disappear versus their full intensity. Very, very good idea. You do that all the time with your figures too. You use Inkscape. Okay. Yeah, what programs people use? There are so many of these applications out there. There's no like use this one or that one. I'm a Photoshop person because I learned it in college and I've just used it ever since. Although some of their tooltips and stuff are bugging me now. And I've never used anything in this way. I've never had a drawing tablet until just a couple of weeks ago. So this was a decision that I made. Oh, it helps if you're on a layer, not on a group. There we go. Oh, we're on white. Don't want that. Turquoise, please. And I think I want my brush to be bigger. So what I've noticed is I have used the pen pressure as a setting. And so it can do a fine line to a thick line. Um, but the thickness is also dependent on the actual setting. So like it can't go over the top. So if I set it at like 25 pixels where it is right now, my line can't get more than 25 pixels. But the bottom limit is also tied to it somehow. And I haven't figured out like where those settings are yet. Like if I set it to 100, can I go 1 to 100? Um, and then it has like smoothing modes, catch up on stroke end, pulled string mode, adjust for zoom, stuff like that. So these are all things that I wasn't ever looking at when I was doing, a mouse. So, for example, if we go like that real quick, that's with 10% smoothing and the default settings. If we instead go pull stringed mode and bring it up to like 25, and we'll do this one next to it. Because its default is 10 and stroke catch up versus catch up on end. Let me try that and let me go up to about 50. I just want to see the various different settings here and what they do. I don't know if these are just smooth enough because I'm moving quickly. Yeah, I can see it. I can see what it's doing. It's not as obvious as it is with some of the other um, editors I've seen where the smoothing kind of seems to. Oh, I should have just undone or made a new layer. Like, let me do this the hardest possible way. Um, Amy, you're a Photoshop gal too? Okay. Glad I am not alone there. see if I can do this one a little bit different. It's also interesting because everything I've drawn before was mouse and keyboard. So I'll show you, um, well, a couple things. One, what that does is because I'm working mouse and keyboard, I want to think more in, oh, we should move categories too. OBS. We'll go over here so people don't think that we're still writing code or looking at game dev stuff. Let me do everything in the hardest way possible. Hello, are you me? Yeah, I think that's a lot of us. Yeah, it's not like Procreate's magic line thing where it just smooths the line to perfection. Yeah. And I see so many people using that, and I'm like, there's part of me that goes, okay, that's really cool. And part of me that goes, I don't always want a smooth line. So I don't know if it's that work be done. Congrats. Am I ordering pizza tonight? I'm like, I just got a bunch of groceries, but also Introverted Excavator is going to come over for the holiday and is going to stay here in case I'm out to watch the animals and stuff. Um, so I talked to her last night and she's like, um, before I come over, would you maybe go grocery shopping, have some food in the house? And I'm like, I mean, yes, because I've been gone all year. So, like, the food that was in the house was only the stuff she was getting or only the stuff she wanted. And then I'd be gone for like a month at a time. So I wasn't, I'd come home for a day, get fast food, come home, eat, and leave again in the morning. And so I just wasn't thinking about, I need to stock my fridge. But I did. I filled my freezer, my fridge. I've been emptying my cupboards. I'm not going to show you guys. Uh, because it's all my cupboards are empty. My counter is covered in stuff that I need to get rid of, and I probably need to make a dump run this week. But um, what's on your screen here? Let me zoom into this. Nope, not that. Why did they? So I need to look at what the controls are. You can see that I'm scrolling and moving the visuals left and right and up and down. And then this is shift scroll. It used to be the control scroll wheel was how you could zoom into your drawing, and they changed the controls. But this is our mash emote, and this was drawn entirely with mouse and keyboard. The button itself is done with shapes. So these are all just done with various curved shape ellipse objects, not eclipse. Um, Actually, that's the first frame. Um, but it's just moving through them. And this was all drawn mouse and keyboard, then layers copied, manipulated, and repositioned. And why does it have a weird looking purple fingernail on it? Because I had a feeling that if I put it in there without the purple fingernail, that people might get the wrong idea about what this was. But yeah, as Amy put that into chat there, thank you for doing that. You can see the small version, and this is the full version of it. This one's not very big. I usually try to make these at about 400 by 400 when I start, and then downsize them to the output. But this is just a timeline frame animation um, that was just a really fun one to create. Um, no, you don't need to save it. It's fine like it is. We'll go back over here and do some actual drawing or sketching. You have a frozen pizza you could cook. I do have frozen pizzas. But frozen pizzas don't come with ranch dressing because I ran out of dressing and forgot to order more. Like, okay, shopping list layer. Need ranch Ooh, that is rough. Oh, because I have the smoothing super high. Okay, let's turn that back down. Let's go catch up as we go and hold string mode and try this. That red on the nail is the button. This whole time you thought it was a drop of blood from the hardcore mashing. So no, there's I'll pull it back open. Um, so you can actually see the frame itself. And I've pulled open the 112. Let me actually not do that. Let's pull open the full version. No, don't browse in bridge. Stupid button being next to open. Wait, those are both in 112s. Do. Cheers, schedule flowers. YouTube thumbs. Installed bridge. Yeah, apparently I did. Thanks. 1.56. Oh, I guess that is the right one. Okay. That's fine. So what you have is the nail is actually the purple part at the top. Um, Before you do anything though, you're gonna curl up for a bit. You were on the phone all day trying to get back through the winds and couldn't even get in queue, so you didn't get a nap and the headache is strong. Amy, go get some rest. Yeah, please. I hope that the headache fades away quickly. Um, so yeah, the red part here is actually like the sore and swollen thumb, and then the last few frames it just pulses because of the pain. So yeah, it appears here, and it's just like, oh my god, I need a break. My thumb is pulsing. So that's the emote. But that's one we already have, so we need to make some new ones. Uh, this one's fun. Um, the other one that I made myself, is that in here? I have the I put things in the wrong place scenario. So this is the cheers emote, and this is just the character, and then the only part that I did was added the hand. So it's a very badly drawn hand and an actual picture of an old fashioned. Um, so that's why the glass doesn't move, but it just lifts up. The character drops down a little bit. Very simple graphic. Um, but you can't just like go into one of those editors that's like, here, get a shake emote or a spin emote or something like that. You do have to do custom because there's a few things happening. The character in the background is lowering down frame by frame. The hand comes up and then forward, so it enlarges, um, and then it goes back and starts over. And the hand actually pulls back so that it's not quite as jarring when it resets. It's not a perfect loop, but I didn't want it to be super jarring, but I did want the glass to be like, hey, cheers, because you lift it and move it forward. Um, and I found myself wanting to use cheers whenever I'd be in a stream and somebody was like, "Hey, let's have a drink." I'm like, "All right, cheers. Let's do this." Um, so yeah. Okay, that was much better. I was a little slower on my line, but oops. Although I don't know if it's a smoothing or what it's doing here, but when my line's short, it's almost like it's not even drawing it. Oh, it is. It's delayed. It's like way back. Okay, I don't like that. That's that's not good. That's that pulled string mode. Let's not do that. Oh yeah, much better. I'm just gonna keep drawing in the wrong place, which is fine too, right? We don't need it to be in the right place. I'm just deciding if I want to do my how I want the smoothing to be. I'm going to leave it there for now and just draw this one and see how I like it. Um, and I am sure that there are going to be a lot of ideas out there on how I should be doing it. If you want to share, that's fine. Don't feel obligated either. Like I said, this is all new, so I'm just having some fun and doing a little practice here. We're going to do a lot of undoing of our lines too. Too far out on that one. The balance of wanting to move fast and knowing that the line is not where I'm going to want it to be is definitely a learning experience. I'm bringing OBS up just to make sure that it's behaving correctly. Camera, are you following me or are you getting stuck? I like at your extents. Maybe I am, which is fine too. A week out? Is it too early to switch to Christmas tunes? Like, I feel like maybe because we're gonna do Christmas songs next weekend, but Thriller's not right. Yeah, way too early. Okay, at least on stream. So one thing, major props. I know that there was the mention of like the Procreate Magic line, the iPad as a drawing tool, and I decided not to go with that at least for now. In favor of the drawing tablet, I may end up getting one because what I have is the Syntax 16, and it is the size of it's only a 16-inch drawable screen, but has a lot of padding around the outside edges, and it is a full monitor. So I like the idea of being able to see what I'm working on and not try to draw on a screen and sketch on another device. That broke my brain. I have tried that before. Um, so trying to do that here is just something that would be a little bit tricky. Uh, but I love that you can just grab the tablet and spin it in your hands and be drawing in a different angle, because I find that drawing lines in certain directions is harder than drawing them in the other direction. And being able to spin your tablet completely alleviates that. And this setup does not really allow for that, at least not without too many settings, because I couldn't just like I mean, I could rotate this thing, but it's a beast, and it has a big cable that goes to the computer too. It's not a small one. It is getting its power, its HDMI, and its USB all through one thick cable. Um, so all of those different pieces of functionality work here together. Now, for here, I don't want these big, thick eyebrows on my character, so we're gonna kind of just do quick little eyebrows. For the eyes, I'll undo that one. Um, I'm gonna kind of do a thinner eye, like eyeliner lid kind of piece. Now you know why you shift your screen all the time. You always try to warn people watching your stream, though. Totally. You'll see a lot of the artists, especially iPad artists, are constantly spinning and zooming and moving things around, and it can be disorienting, of course. Um, but it's totally understood, and that's how a lot of people do it. Um, I always love that when I go to like conventions and see people doing art on a tablet, and they either have their laptop and the connections like what I have, or they have their tablet and they're sitting there just working on drawings and things um, while they're there. So like here, drawing this one, I'm going from right to left, and in order for me to see it, my hand is upside down. So it's like the brain is trying to work in a completely different way, even though we just did the same line right here. Um, and then the other thing I know people will do, and I haven't used it yet, is the symmetry where you kind of do. Where did you put the other line? How does that work? Oh, oh, I see. Okay. It moves away as soon as I move off of it, so I'm not sure. New symmetry path. Oh, it uses paths for it. Okay, I'll figure that out later because I see a lot of people do that where they're doing symmetry and draw two lines at the same time. And this has vertical, horizontal, dual axis, diagonal, wavy, circles, spirals, parallel lines. I guess parallel line is probably the easiest one. Oh, it put it in a box. Okay. So if we draw in here, why did you make a selection? Did you want me to have a selection? Is that it? Oh, that selection's gone. It's just still showing up on my screen for some reason. Okay, we'll go back to sketching. Does my tablet have access to flip your piece? Procreate has a flip horizontal option that you use often. So yes, sort of. Um, so I don't have any programmable buttons or anything like that on this particular tablet. Um, but I have the entire Photoshop application, so I can actually make adjustments to it. Um, let's see, duplicate image size, canvas size, enable credentials, perspective. These are all crops and things like that. There aren't really like working tools. Let me see what I can find here. I know they're getting rid of the 3D workspace if they didn't already remove it. So I do have like image rotation, so I can go like 180, and I'm rotating the canvas right now, so it's running in the background. Now, granted, it has to do a lot in Photoshop because it's going to rotate all of the layers and all of that, and then rotate it back. So I don't really like using that for this type of a scenario where kind of want the orientation and everything to be the same, but I'm going to just do it and then undo it. So you can see it did what we needed it to. Um, and I went upside down. So everything is now way down here. So in a smaller drawing, that might make more sense. Okay, I'm back. Are we doing emotes? We are. Hello, Mimi. Welcome back. Um, we're more learning how to use the drawing tablet and Photoshop and tracing over some emote bases and trying to figure out emotes. Um, because I'm not going to deep dive into the game dev today, but I wanted to get started and show off what I've been working on with that. Um, we're looking at if there's ways to work on like flipping this. There is a view flip horizontal, but it doesn't actually let me use it right now for some reason. I'll have to see because I am sure that there are some ways to do this. Isolate, find area, create sky. The contextual like generative fill and stuff is really cool. I like how it can detect what you've got and then creates more content based on that. But that doesn't really help us on this. New layers based on slices. We're not slicing this at the moment. Analysis, ruler tool, measurements. It's funny how much of the old like web development stuff they still have in here. So like original Photoshop was just photo manipulation, and then in like 2004-ish, they incorporated it with Macromedia, Macromedia Flash and Dreamweaver because Adobe bought them, and it became Adobe Dreamweaver. But there's a bunch of things that you could do, like the slicing. You could actually design a website, use the slicing to chop it up into its various pieces, then hit export and have it spit out the HTML, CSS, and everything to position a web page and import it directly into Dreamweaver and be ready to go. You have no idea how to use Photoshop. You've been wanting to learn, but it's a tad overwhelming for you. You're pretty positive that you're only using Procreate to maybe 10% of its capacity. Fair. Absolutely fair. I'm not going to open it back up right now, but I showed we did some frame by frame animations, which is our mash and cheers emotes that you'll see in the chat sometimes. I'll go ahead and throw them in right now. Where are you? Right there. So those two are just frame by frame animation done in Photoshop, but you could do them in anything that allows you to do frame animation. What I like about Photoshop scenario, I'm going to switch scenes. That stinger is actually built in Photoshop. Um, so when you see that pop up on the screen, that was the same exact thing. Where I went into Photoshop, I created my layers, I did my timing on it where I wanted them to be when, but instead of using frame by frame animation and trying to calculate out like, oh, I want it to move this many pixels, this many pixels, this many pixels over and over again, I did all of my objects start and finish points and then allowed Photoshop to automatically create the animations by doing tweens instead. So it will actually rapidly move them from point A to point B, which makes it a lot smoother than what I would be able to do on a rapid movement like that. Because if I change my variables or anything, we end up with rapid movement or not rapid movement. If I'm moving one at 15 pixels per frame versus another at 10 pixels per frame, but then I go in and change my overall timing to shorten or elongate the whole thing, then it's all out of alignment. And by using the tweens, it auto adjusts it all. So that makes it so much easier to to work with, and so having both options available is really handy. Even though I barely use these features, it's still just really cool to have them. Oh, we still have the hand tool. That's gonna need to shift there. So with my character, I also have more lashes, so I want to make sure that those are defined here and not just implied. Now, we're just doing a demo, so I'm doing this all on one layer. I'm struggling with the animated stuff as well. Definitely would love to learn. Oh, well, like I said, I can't speak to Procreate because I haven't used it yet. I think their newer version has a little bit more functionality for it. Um, you know what? Let's let's how do I want to do this? I have another one I was working on that was animated, so bear with me just a moment. It's not great, but it's from the same set, so it would be in the same vein here. And this one I've added a little bit more to. If we go back to the master file and zoom out, it's P4. So down here in the corner, of course, you're in the corner behind me. This one right here. So I took that one, I changed the shape a little bit. Procreate Dreams is the new one for animation, but you've heard it's a bit rough still. I would imagine, yeah, first time dipping into real animation is going to be a struggle. So this one has timeline animation on it, and it's bad. I'm just warning you right now because I did not draw each of my frames on this. What I did is I just used a distortion, but I'll go ahead and show you a little bit of how this works. And first we'll just play it, and you can see characters just kind of grooving around and then disappears because I don't have the final frames in it. Um, but I don't like things like right here. You can see that. Oh, fine. It's like you're not using the brush tool because you're on the wrong layer. Because I'm supposed to be on this one. Okay. So with my brush tool showing here, this space being empty and not having the hair to fill it in kind of bothers me. But keeping in mind that we started from a square object and I didn't draw each frame. You could just as easily draw each and every frame, and a lot of animators will do that. So we'll go to this frame here, which is 21, and I do have a layer for it. It's the default layer. And I also have one that's a little bit offset here that was in position 20. Let me find one that's more offset. There we go. So let me take, this is where it's going to be a little different. So Lydia, you mentioned hiding your background or lowering the opacity on your background. I like to lower the opacity on my foreground so that I can see through it to the background. And it can look a little bit weird. So you'll see a lot of animators work in a style like this, where they are kind of, oh, get out of here, layer video, where they're able to draw over the top. So you can decide how much movement do you want. So if this is the line from where we were at, and this is the line from my default, maybe I want this to move up higher. So now I'm going to put that line up here instead. And so I'm going to start thinking about putting these lines up here. Um, I'm doing a rough job because I'm not very artistic in this space. Um, onion layers are wonderful animating. Yeah, exactly. Hi Kiki, so good to see you. Every time you see me with the ears on, so heckin' cute. Thank you. There's lots of ears and bows and horns and crowns now because chat said I needed a crown. Um, I'm not a huge fan of it, but I have it. But yeah, being able to do the layers like this so you can actually see where they're at, decide on, where I want the headphones, things like that. And you can draw them each in every screen or you can move them around. So what I end up doing, and I'll pull this down here so you can see, is I have the actual timeline of this animation. So right now, like I said, we're in frame 21. So I've set up 24 frames for this because I wanted to be able to position it and have it not just do like a back and forth, but to do like a head bopping around and moving up and down and side to side and just kind of being a little chaotic. Um, but what you'll notice is there's also just the music notes changing color as they go through, and they don't move at all. So what is happening there? Let me drag this window back out of here. And again, it's going to be a little different, I'm sure, in Procreate system. Um, but in Photoshop, I have all of my layers. And so whenever I'm doing, this is Adobe Photoshop, yeah. When I'm doing my frame by frames, I have all of my frames drawn in here. So I have all of my main character. Um, if I was doing this differently, this is the original here. So this has all the outline, all the separated layers. Um, I actually, for this particular example, I'm using a warp instead of actually redrawing. And I'll go back in and do some touch up in my frames, but I'm actually distorting my character so they're coming like forward and backwards and up and down and all over the place. Just using the distortion tools to create that animation. Like I said, I don't do a lot of drawing myself, so this is all really new on that side of things. But then I can just toggle these on and off to do the positions that I want for it. Um, and then for the notes themselves, I just have the 8 copies in the various different colors so that it'll rotate through the whole color scheme there. And if we were to leave this on here and hit play, oh, it doesn't actually show me. Oh no, there it goes. Well, it moved once. I don't know why it didn't do it, but what's happening in the background is it's toggling these on and off with each frame, and so it's just really quick. Um, so yeah, Toon Squid is a bit better right now than Dreams. You just feel more comfy working in Dreams for what you're trying to do. Nice. Okay. I haven't used Toon Squid. I don't have an iPad, so I can't use Procreate and those things yet. But just talking with everybody, I'm probably going to end up getting myself one, and you know, then being an insufferable Mac person. No, I'm never going to do that. Uh, I'm joking. Love you, Mac people. Uh, as long as I don't have to support you. That is a very different thing. Being in business, there's all these people who are like, Windows is evil. We don't want to use it. So we're going to use Mac. And it's like, okay, well, none of your applications have been tested and supported on Mac. So when you call me for help, I'm going to tell you no. That's going to be it. End of conversation. You get no help, which is actually not as bad. The like Mac people, MAC, math people are fine. We can do math all day long. Um, uh, you don't like drawing via PC? Yeah, exactly. So zero judgment in this space. It's actually funny because in the art community, in marketing and business, graphics editors are very much Mac users. Um, Photoshop is nice because as long as you're on the actual computer, you can transfer and use it on both systems. Um, there actually was a reason originally. It didn't add your quote. I think. Let me do this. I'm going to change the quote to the actual word. I think it might be set to admins only or admins only, mods only. Do 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 do. Oh, it helps also if I put in my own command correctly. Grr. I'm trying to use the um, other chat window, and it does not have full functionality. There we go. Now it's in. To you, use what you think is better for whatever thing you like, Windows and Mac. Yeah. So it was a thing a little over a decade ago. PC monitors were not displaying the proper colors. So there was actually a variation in the display, and people would be constantly adjusting their monitors to get the correct settings. And Mac was truest to print. At the same time, HP was the only printing company that was actually capable of giving you true color printing because every single thanks, Samsara. um so in printing you have like cyan, magenta, we'll just grab a blue and a purple here. And what used to happen on computers is that they would do dot 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 and then switch and come in with the other one and go alongside of it and try to get you really, really close to your colors. And HP was the first printer that would go fast enough to drop your purple or your blue, oops, cancel, and come in right on top of it with the next color. Yeah, that one doesn't go with the 21 at all. So this was a limitation on the printer. So people got hooked, especially in the graphics and marketing worlds, on specific devices and got used to working with them, which totally makes sense. Um, then in about 2010 ish, Kodak actually started producing picture printers that were capable of doing the true color printing and dropping ink on top of itself. It takes a little bit longer to dry, so like the technology had to be adjusted, but they finally caught up. And then HP was like, okay, fine. Well, we're going to now print with plastic dust and be able to make 3D objects in various colors by mixing together the colors in real time. That printer is incredibly expensive, but also incredibly cool. Um, it's if you looked at Hero Forge, that's kind of how they do their um, custom 3D printed models. Nope, that wasn't what I wanted. And this is kind of eyelid here, so we'll go ahead and still do these lines here. And this one doesn't have a nose, which is fine. Actually, I don't mind that one. So we can see that I need to do a little bit more on the eyes still to make that line up. But that's okay. So let's go ahead and just... I'm going to kind of, instead of doing a dark line, I'm going to do a little loop down for what the lower lid would be. What's randomizer? Knowing what it's doing. Uh-huh. And actually, I'm going to add another layer because I have a feeling that I'm going to want to change this one a bunch, and I don't want to manipulate everything else. Well, actually, that wasn't terrible. So do I want it with it filled in or not? Oh, I definitely want it filled in. That's like when somebody turns their eyelids inside out. That's no. And then they also have a shadow layer here, so they're doing just kind of this lighter area. We'll do one more layer and drop it back behind, and then what they did is they kind of just went with a lower level of the color intensity here. Um, I'm going to actually take the same color, bring it down here. Actually, I'm going to bring it over towards the white a little bit. We'll go there for something more subtle. And then for the moment, I'm going to leave it full and just roll with it. And we are working on a new layer here. It's definitely going to be too dark, so we're going to adjust it down in a minute. Wait, am I on top? Am I on the wrong layer? That might be a better question. Yep, that's why. Go away, lines. There we go. On the correct layer now. So one thing that I've never liked about Photoshop, or it's always bothered me, is when you use the fill tool, if you're looking, you can actually see like a 1 pixel area that it doesn't fill in. You can adjust it with tolerance, uh, but I find that when I bump the tolerance up too high, it will add more color outside and really chop up my outer line. So I just let it do that and then go back over and trace over that extra little pixel of missing area. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take that layer and actually turn its opacity down to get to the shadow effect that I really want it to have there, instead of trying to do that all in the color part of what I'm doing. So there we go, a quick and easy dab emote. Um, Obviously, we'd add hair to it too, but I'm really great at drawing hair. If you didn't catch the sarcasm there, you're not listening. So let's go with this purple real quick and kind of decide where our hairline is going to be. So it's going to be about here. And we're going to do some bangs coming down from it. Nope, undo both of those. Actually, let me zoom out a little bit here. And Chai has grabbed her paintbrush and finished painting the roses before the queen arrived and sneaks away out of the garden in triumph. Nicely done. Something like that. We'll follow this line to about here. Oh, we've got ads again. So I'm going to take a quick moment away during the ads here. We'll be back in just 3 minutes. So stick around. We'll continue with some sketching and talking and all of that good stuff. And hopefully we'll see you in just a few minutes. Welcome back. Camera. Hi, I'm over here. Hi. It gets a little confused when I leave. Thank you, thank you. Are you following me? There you go. Okay. So yeah, so hair is definitely where I have kind of a disconnect that I have not figured it out yet. Um, no, the bookcase is definitely vibe, right? Right? It's actually funny. It follows me to where it thinks I was last, and then it turns yellow when it stops being able to detect me, and it looks for a face. So all I really have to do is like put my face in front of it, and it usually will figure it out. Um, but yeah, this is the ob spot. So I can actually move around and not have to worry about it. And I finally installed the software for it. I've had it for almost a year and never installed the software, but that allows me to control it manually as well from the app. Right, camera in bed. Look, if you want to have a camera in your bed, that's fine. Um, I figure after the holidays we'll do a bedroom Discord hang because I'm not planning to stream that because I was thinking about it and it's going to be a lot of just like downtime and weirdness. And so I'm totally fine with anybody who wants to hang out for it, but I don't think I want there to be a VOD of me just wandering around my bedroom. So yeah, we'll do that. I am not going to do a like sleeping stream. That's never going to happen. Um, just as a heads up, in case you were looking forward to that, not happening. And you know what they say? What happens in the bedroom stays in the bedroom. Nah, not among Twitch streamers. How many streams have you been to where you can see the bed in the background? Oh God, you'd rather die than do a sleeping stream? I mean, I'm not going to take it that far. Like, I would do a 24-hour stream. I'm not opposed to putting cameras all over my house. Like, obviously, there won't be cameras in bathrooms. That's creepy. There are limits to what I am willing to put on a camera. So I'm thinking here would be something like that. And then obviously it's going to fill in this space too. So we just put a few little marks there and finish these lines off. So we get our waviness. Bring these all the way to the bottom. That's good. And then we fill these in too, but we won't be using the fill tool for that. We just continue with our brushes. Um, actually, can I do the fill tool on this? See, this is where I start thinking differently based on if I'm thinking in Photoshop photo manipulation mode versus drawing mode. Like if this was on paper, I'd be grabbing colored pencils and coloring it in. But here, and I'll go back in and clean up my edges so I don't have to worry about their positioning here. Now, sometimes if I'm doing like frame by frame animation, I might not go to this level of detail that I am right now. And I would also isolate out my layers. So right now we're just working in a couple of layers. I'll show you. I didn't name them. I'm not doing anything because we're just practicing. But I would have like, this is hair. And then this is arm shadow. Base. Nothing. Eyes. So I would actually separate out the ear, the eyes, the eyebrows, things like that, because I want to bring the eyebrows above the hair. I want the eyelashes above the hair, but I want the eyes to be under. I want the ear to be over so that the hair is going behind it. But I might have this hair streak here actually be in front. So it'll be changing all of that up. Sammy says, all of my cameras are in my bedroom. They don't see the bed anymore, though. Yeah. Yeah. So a lot of people stream from their bedrooms. I have a dedicated room for my office, but that's because I work from this room. Um, so what I might do here is take the base, and actually I'm going to duplicate it, and I'm going to take the base copy. So I hid the base momentarily, and I'm just going to use my selector tool, and I'm going to go, this is stuff that's under the hair. Like I said, I want the eyebrows above. And then this will just let me really quickly make a below and above base, um, instead of trying to worry about all the specifics that I would normally do. So the rest of this stuff is actually going to be above. So like that. Then I'll turn on this base, and I'll cheat to do a Control Shift I. So I selected inverse and delete. And so now I have the two separated pieces, and the eyes we know are separate, so they're still on their own layer. And you can see how choppy they are, but that's fine because they're on a background layer, or they're covered by other layers, so they actually hide the choppiness. Oh, I'm in the wrong tool. Paintbrush, please. Eraser. That's definitely what I wanted. There we go. Let's just smooth that out a little bit. Um, and if I fill this in, so right now, close you off for the moment, and you. And we're going to move hair down like that. So the things that are over it, and under it are under it. And then we can do a quick fill. I can't fill those yet. And because I'm filling these in with the same color, these lines that I put in are just going to be covered up and have to be recreated. But that issue I was saying earlier with the pixels where it leaves that outline, if I did this right, it should actually leave me those as guides. Oops. That one is not sealed up yet. Oh, it's right here. There we go. That's better. And then so we'll take our paintbrush and we'll just do, there's a few different techniques we can do here. And I kind of did this on this one over here. So you're going to see a combination of some different things here. And I'm going to use these techniques on the other side as well once I put things back in. I'm just going to redraw those lines. You could continue on if you wanted to, just using paintbrush. And I think a lot of people probably would go this route, just doing the paintbrush and drawing some lines in here. Just doing this kind of thing, and picking out a specific color that they want to work with. For me, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to clean this up. And I wish I hadn't drawn all these segments now because this is going to take a minute. But I prefer to use burn and dodge because then, one, I don't have to pick a color that's complementary or close to or anything like that. Obviously, if I was doing like a multi-tone hair, I couldn't just use burn and dodge. I'd have to do a little bit of color selection there. What burn and dodge do, if you're not familiar, is they darken and lighten an area based on the color that is there. So it works really well for hair type scenarios where I'm trying to add highlights and lowlights. Um, if you do a lot of it, as you saw in that other one, you kind of also get almost like a texture, like it's got a 3D effect to it. So this is burnt here, dodged here, and then you also see like the nose around the chin area. These are all just doing burns and dodges. And so when that's an emote, it's very subtle when we get into like actual emote sizes. Because keep in mind, on most people's screens, it's going to be like that. Um, when it's up on the bigger screen, it's probably only going to be about there. So it doesn't have to have a ton of detail. Um, so I try to remind myself that when I'm looking at it, and I'm like, oh my god, that's really rough. I also did burn for the very bright pink in the shoulders, and again, when it gets really small, you can't even tell what's going on there. So it's not too big of a deal to really get into that. Actually, I want to color this in too. Now I'm going to adjust this just a little bit here because I can see a speck of the blue coming through. Does anybody else that has a drawing tablet, do you like wipe your hand across it occasionally like you're wiping away eraser dust or pencil dust? Is that something that ever goes away? Like pick up my pencil and immediately just like flick, like I'm trying to really lightly brush away like graphite dust. Absolutely. Okay, good. I'm like, I know that it doesn't do anything. I know that you guys can't see it happen, but at the same time, I just am like, why am I doing that? If this was on an iPad, I would probably be swiping all over the place as I do it. Okay, so this is my burn and dodge tool down here. No, not my smudge tool. Hello. We'll do this. So like I said, burn, dodge. I like to keep all of my tools like this. In the new Photoshop, I actually have to change it up. Um, but like I said, burn is going to darken, dodge is going to lighten. And you can adjust it too. So I can choose to work in midtones, shadows, highlights, things like that. And if I'm going over multiple colors, it can work with that. Um, I have it set to 50% pressure, protect tones. I'm going to take it down a little bit, and I do use a fuzzy brush on this one because I don't want it to have a precise line. There's actual dust on yours, and sometimes fly dust. Usually use your glasses cleaner. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, mine collects dust too. Like it is definitely a dust collector. Um, what I have. Hello, camera. Come on back over here. I do have eyeglass cleaners, um, which are really handy because these are just pre-moistened, but they're non-scratching, non-streaking for glasses and plastic lenses. And these and they do make technically electronic cleaners that are anti-static materials, and this is actually the same stuff. Um, so I will use this most often on like cleaning my glasses and then cleaning uh, my monitors and stuff at the same time. There's actually fly dust is a polite way of saying flies are filthy and not welcome house guests. Oh, I see. Okay, gotcha. I had never heard that term, so I didn't know. Oh, why are you in symmetry? You shouldn't be. You're on the right layer. You're using this tool. Oh, there was still a symmetry path sitting over there, just hanging out. Oh, it did the line anyway. I don't know why it got mad at me there. And what's cool about using the burn tool is I don't have to use selections because it's only picking up the color that's already on this layer. And not like that though. So if I go over the edge, it just stops. Um, Random question, but what color are my glasses frames? Um, these ones are very, very thin, but are purple. They're a deep, kind of rich, a little bit more red tone purple. Let me see if I can find them actually. Do, 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 do. It brought up my glasses is the very, very first one. That's crazy. So they look a little brown here. They're more purple than this. Um, but those are the glasses I have. Um, 4021. Is that the same number? They say they're in the color wine. Oh, it even brought it in that color. Okay, well, they just aren't as purple on here as they actually are. But yeah, so burgundy purplish. I wonder if I could still find the old pair that I had before these, which I loved, but once they wore down, they just didn't look very good anymore. Oh, you know what? I probably have a social media post from years ago when I got them. Like, how quickly can I find a decades old social media post? I think I actually have an album for it. I totally have an album for it. This is the pair of glasses that I had before these ones. I actually have a few pairs that are really old ones, and then I just like really thin frames. And I don't wear these ones. These ones are my emergency ones because I got them from a site online. And while they look okay and I can see fine, there's just something off about them just a little bit. And so if I wear them for too long, I'll start to get a headache, even though everything seems to look the same. It's almost like, yeah, it's on the left side. Something's wrong with this lens. Um, but if I misplace my other glasses, then I have these as a backup. I want to order more from that site because they were really inexpensive. Um, Whereas these ones, God, getting my glasses from the actual like dedicated place, um, I can order those online. I think those cost me like $20. These ones, luckily, were covered by insurance because they're about 700, and the difference between those two price points is astronomical and ridiculous. So I'd love to be able to make sense. Your glasses are pinkish right now. If you get dark frames, your face looks weird. Okay, I can understand that too. Yeah, I tend to go dark frames, really thin frames. Um, I like them to be able to have like flex points, and I have a wider face, so I'm trying to find ones that don't make my face too wide. Um, the other ones are definitely a more pinkish tone to them. I don't have transition lenses anymore because those are the worst. And then, so I have a separate pair of sunglasses, which are dark purple. But yeah, getting used to doing hair and stuff, this is going to take me some time. Oops, let's undo that one. Even in photo manipulation, hair is weird. It's one of the easiest spots to see if somebody photoshops something because they usually don't know. And they try to clean up the edges and make them perfectly clean, which totally does not work. You had transitions in junior high and high school and thought you were amazing, but dang, were they obnoxious because they never changed quick enough. Yeah, finally someone else who dislikes transition lenses. So my reasoning for disliking transition lenses is actually interesting. When I was in high school, I worked at a chicken farm for a while, and we would go in and out of the barns, and my eyes would never adjust fast enough to going from being inside a dark barn with heat lamps where we're dropping off baby chicks and then outside to the truck, getting them from the truck and back in. Like my eyes would just burn while I was outside under the sun. But the transitions, I could close my eyes and in about 10 seconds they would adjust. So I would be fast enough for that scenario. So for that case, I really, really liked them. And I got used to having them. That was the original, like, first generation transitions. They've adjusted since then. But the biggest problem with them is, well, I showed you that lens cleaner. you cannot use those lens cleaners on transition lenses because it will actually deteriorate the coating and break through it. And when it breaks through it, you can actually see it on your lenses, whether it's active or not. And so you end up with these spots all over the place, which is irritating. And because it's a UV reactant, it can't be under any of the other protective coatings. So they do like the anti-glare, the anti-scratch, all of these different hardening protective coatings, and then they just put this muddy tint on the outside of all of that for the transition part. So this one feature basically makes it so that your glasses are more prone to damage and will need to be recoated sooner than if you just left it off and got a pair of sunglasses or clip-ons or magnetics or anything like that instead. So it took me a while to figure it out, but yeah. And when they asked me, they're like, "Do you want to get that?" I'm like, "Oh hell no!" And they're like, "Good." I was like, "Oh, okay." Hot she's gonna she almost let me in. She'd been buried in. Lonely is a favorite place to be. Never realized that, but yeah, you'll never go back. Yeah. Yeah, it just means that I tell people, I'm like, I have to carry a purse everywhere because I can't go anywhere without my sunglasses. So I'm not really fond of that, but again, this is an emote, so it's not going to be a big deal. Um, what I would kind of do here is take my base, my eyes, all of these, and actually just do a color overlay. So some people will redraw. I'm lazy. Boom. Base copy. Now, I will say a color overlay can show if you have imperfections in your lines, stuff like that. So you'll see like here by this arm, there's a little bit of just some junk that isn't quite like how I'd want it to appear that I can see now that I couldn't see before. There's a few little spots here as well. But like if I go here and I draw hello, oh, I'm using the burn tool. I'm like, why didn't that draw? Of course not. But I'm drawing in purple. I'm drawing in another shade of purple. It's all black. So it's not going to change any of that at all. Um, Man, I'm doing better on the lines where I am just not paying attention to what I'm drawing than actually the ones that I want to. Um, oh, we do need a good cry emote. Right now, I don't think I ever see it used on the channel. Do I even have it active? That might be why. We do have one. No, it's not active. That's why. We haven't BTTV, so it's this one. Um, same. You noticed it on other people, so always just got different sunglasses. You're also quite OCD about clean glasses. Can't even look at other people's dirty lenses and make your friends give you their glasses so you can clean them. You'd be constantly cleaning mine. They get dirty so fast. Like I have little microfiber cloths all over the place to make sure that I can clean them. I carry two of those in my purse at all times. Like, but still, they get so bad. Trying to do mouse things with a pen is not ideal. Okay, you are A1. B1, I think. Nope. Which means you are actually J, not A. There we go. Can I be your friend too? My glasses are never clean, right? Please, please take care of my glasses. Please make sure I can see. Ooh, that was too pointy. This is actually kind of funny because I'm finding that drawing on the tablet, I'm liking up and to the right. And when I draw with a mouse, I like down and to the right. So like the angles I'm enjoying are backwards. Not gonna lie, it's also a nice excuse to get a little eye to eye contact in. It's for sure about the clean glasses. I'm sure it's about the clean glasses. Like, I'm sorry, there's something in your glasses and a glare. Um, that was muddy. That glasses tilt the. Oh, I know. I could have switched to the closer camera, but I was like, no. Let's be fair here. Should put on a teacher outfit. And no, that's not like a kinky costume or something. I have a cardigan that's like gold colored, and I absolutely love it. I don't even have think I have the shirt I used to wear under it anymore. But I had this brown and turquoise shirt that I would wear with this gold cardigan, and I felt that it made me look kind of like a teacher, and so I stopped wearing the combination. The brown top I used to wear to like country concerts, that kind of stuff. Um, do 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 do. More distractions. We don't need video games for distractions. We can find them everywhere. Well, that's a terrible picture. Do I have a bigger picture of it? I looked at this picture recently in a higher resolution version than what I found. That's going back too far in the past. That might be the only one I have of it. No, that can't be. do. Where are you? Sometimes you aim for the librarian look. That's a dangerous one for me. Um. Oh, you're still thinking. Only if you catch. Oh, you're not syncing. That's why. I forgot I turn off my OneDrive syncing when I'm live. I'm like, the last thing I need is it trying to manage a terabyte of data while I'm live. That's just a bad combo. It's fine. I still have access to it all. It just doesn't have the local copies. Do, 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 do. It's got to be in here somewhere. So many layers. It's not in this folder either. All right. Well, fine then. I'll just show you the terrible tiny picture until I can actually find the real one. So that's the one where I say it's like my teacher outfit. And I still have the cardigan. I don't have the brown top anymore. Yeah. I also found a folder of some of my old weird little sketches. Only a couple of them though. Um, like this one. Um, I was it was when I was going to my counselor and somebody in the waiting room. I was just sketching to kill time, and they asked me if I could draw some different rainbow dress ideas for Pride. So I did like the layered um the layered multi-tiered dress. I did this one which I felt really looked like Rainbow Bright but was kind of fun. With like the embroidered flowers on the hem, the pleated inset, and then like I imagined large rainbow beads on the straps. Um Me trying to figure out how to draw different flower shapes. Um and then just like a simple, very dark gray with just bands of colors for like somebody who wanted a more sporty look for Pride. Um, I don't remember which way was up. I think this side over here was up on this one. But I like the idea of using um, like shapeable wire to create some rigid shapes that went beyond the edge. The Rainbow Bright one also makes you think of a Dalek dressed as a Pride ghost. Hey, whatever you got to do to blend in, it's totally a Dalek. I'm like, I can see it with the antenna. Like, all it needs is the little arms coming out right here. That would not have been its shape, but yeah, I get what you're seeing there. And then this one, I drew for somebody that wanted to have a tattoo on their hand of music to remind them to not smoke. So I kind of just sketched this up. I don't remember if I actually put any thought into the notes themselves. And like there's no clefs or anything. It was just kind of a rough idea sketch. I like that there's a floor plan in the background of this one too. But that's all that's in this folder. I wonder where I put the rest of the stuff. Here's one that was really fun. I don't have acrylics right now, but this was with a glitter acrylic. So that's not painted on, it's actually in the nail itself. So you don't have to worry about glitter getting everywhere or being hard to remove. Um, and then the notes, this is actually across both hands would play a song and it would play a violin part of a specific song. I'm going to shift gears and pull it up. So these notes are the violin part of this song in the chorus. And luckily, the violinist is a friend of mine, so he sent me the sheet music so I could have it done right. Okay, let's finish this emote. We're just gonna trace some. I think I'm gonna not focus on hair and details, and we're just going to redraw the bases. Oh, that was bad. Lurk time for sleeps. Get some good rest, Kiki. Oh my god, it's 11 o'clock. I haven't been up long. This is a weird day. I slept in so late today. Where are we at? Oh, we're only a couple hours in. Okay. Almost three. Oh, sign in, please. Yes. Yes. Uh huh. Uh huh. I feel like wobbly works a little bit on this one. Sent a pic in Discord. Okay. Oh my god. Lydia, can I show that? Is that okay? Let me undo that because we're going to definitely add some color here. Sure. Okay. Why are you zooming weird? Oh, because you didn't maximize. Ah, come back. There we go. She is adorable. Oh my god, thank you. And like how you did the glitter in the ears. Oh my god. Incredible work. Thank you. Are you getting some emotes for yourself done as well while you're working over there? Aw, thank you. Oh, this one I think to come down a little bit more than they'd have it. Like that. Oh, I hear the Nika barking outside of my office door, too. Can't use emotes yet except on Discord. So you've been lazy making your own. That is totally fair. Absolutely fair. Um, so you'll notice us use some here that aren't Twitch emotes. We'll pull out the BTTVs, and that chat doesn't do them, but um, the main one does here. And we have so many BTTV emotes, it's kind of crazy. Um, but I post all of mine to BTTV as well. So that's a plugin that a lot of people use to do. Originally, it was animated because you couldn't do animated emotes on Twitch. So everybody used it, and we have professional a $5 subscription to BTTV here. So that means that we have. Do I even want to know how many emotes I'm allowed to have over there now? It's crazy. And you can upload your own, you can share them with other people, or you can keep them just for yourself. So they don't have to be to everybody. Oh, we're up to 500 emotes. We have 353 assigned. So there are a lot of phrases that will pop up um, things onto the screen that if you just know the entry code, um, like in bedbot, no, no, it's not like that with Hornet. Okay, um, you can also nat1 or nat20 with a capital N, and it will pop them up. So there's lots and lots of these things. Um, but yeah. And chat can actually add to these too, which is kind of cool. There's a redeem on here. How is it set up? Only emotes with sharing turned on are supported. Yeah, so the BTTV one, channel point reward, if you actually copy a link from BTTV and put it in the command when you redeem, it will automatically add it to the channel. So it doesn't even wait for my approval. So I've got ASM Hing, and Kiwi are two others. These are chat redeems because of course we have to have a Kiwi emote here. So here they just used a really big brush, so I'm tempted to just bring that music down a little bit. It's off our playlist, so we're just playing whatever it decides to play. I'm gonna move my brush up to twice the size, so up to 50 pixels instead of 25. Of course, I'm doing this on the tiers layer, but that's okay. This is still just practice. Of course, we need Kiwi here, right? Absolute requirement. Start tonight. Until I get more experience in ending up maxing out your layer, that's a different sort of stress. There's a maximum number of layers? Layer limit. It's actually worded. Is there a layer limit? The maximum number of layers in Photoshop is 8,000. However, your system has to have the resources to be able to handle such an enormous amount. Photoshop for desktop has a limit of 8,000. Memory constraints may lower this limit. And that's your on Procreate there is. Yeah, that makes sense. On a tablet, if you were using the like portable Photoshop, you would definitely run into those layer limits. Um, I have had to give both Photoshop and Premiere huge amounts of scratch disk space before to open up files because I will end up with graphic files that are well over a gigabyte. Um, and once they open and then unpack all of these layers, they can be like 10 times the size while you're working on them. Not all of them, but sometimes that will happen. Should have known that was coming. It'd been a while since we had an ad. You return with still a headache, but also needed foods. Well, I'm glad that you're back. I'm sorry that the headache's not gone, and I'm hoping you do get some foods. Do I want pizza, chicken? I don't want pastas. I need to make myself cook, so they're like, yeah, but you could get some pepperoni cheesy bread. I mean, that sounds pretty good. Do you have other stuffed breads? Spinach and feta, bacon and jalapeno. Bacon and jalapeno it is. Add me more ranch. Yes, please. Normal. Uh-huh. Add to order. I've got. Oh, I could order some Sprites. That would be good. I was like, what do I have in the fridge? And right now, not in the fridge, but on my beverage shelf, I have Diet Coke, but not Sprite. And I don't know why, but 20-ounce sodas are cheaper, like 30% cheaper ordering them from Domino's than it is getting them at like a 7-Eleven, which is just crazy. Because usually there's a markup. Domino's was your first job. Spinach and feta is bomb too, right? No, I don't need more bread. Thank you. My doctor would already be getting on my case about the amount of carbs in this meal. I don't need to add to it. No more. Go away. I kind of like this one for anime, but I feel like this would have to be an animated emote. So maybe we do that. What one is this? This is L1. Yeah. Okay, let me open it up and we'll do a focus on this so we can do an animated emote. Why are you having so much trouble going to my shopping cart? Domino's. Domino's, come on. The ads are going to end. You're sorry, but an error has occurred. Are they closed? They might be. I might have waited too long. You always make the spinach and feta cheesy bread with bacon and Alfredo sauce off menu, of course. Yes, but it's also wonderful. And welcome back from the ads. Anyone that was out there enduring those for us, we appreciate you sticking around and enduring those. Let's see where. I think I left these all in downloads. I don't think I put them into a folder yet. No, I unpacked them somewhere because they don't open that way. Where did I hide you? I love that we're not listening to a playlist and it's just picking up songs that are totally on all of my playlists. Like, we know this is what you're going to listen to. Vid projects. Where would. Well, how about I just grab the zips and move them? Cut. alphabet. There you are. Of course, I would typo and not catch it. Okay, and it was L1. There we go. All right. Browser, are you behaving now? No. It's just doing maths. So they did theirs in 3 layers. They did outline, shading, and blood for their layers. Um, we're going to need to change this up a little bit, and we're going to need to pull in one other emote here to make this work. So let's maybe M M2 would work. It's got the sweat nervousness look. Oh, we've got a glasses tilt emote. We could totally make that happen. But I would have to do that one with rainbow hair because, of course. Uh, let's see. Oh, I had the mirror on. It actually did work. I didn't know it did. Um, oh, a cozy emote. That seems like a good idea too. We have the nose bubble thought. Okay, let's open up N1 and M1. So I think it's gonna go MNL, but we're gonna have the transitions plus the nosebleed effect starting to appear earlier. So we'll do a three different emotes here. You're really not going to allow me to check out, are you? Oh, it went through! Yay! You have me nervous here, Dominoes. I'm hungry. For those parents that might be listening, hopefully your kids are all asleep, but occasionally the music does have some adult themes and words in it. And by sometimes, I mean often. Uh, M2. Okay, so I'm going to grab all of these and put them into one spot here. So we're going to work in L1, and this is going to be our second state, first state. So I'm just going to drag this whole group over to L1, drop it in, and then move it into position. Did they really work with multiple sizes? Come on now. I can't complain when they've given away this pack for free. It's pretty freaking awesome that they've done that. And I'm going to resize it anyway because I want to get these heads to be about the same size, relatively closely anyway. Obviously, it's leaning back in this other one, so we want to be a little bit larger. I think maybe about there's okay. And then we'll bring this one over too. And we're going to resize this one down a little bit because we're now leaning back a little bit. Nope. There we go. Okay. You can just do that. What do you mean, please log in? I am logged in. Oh, that's not logged in. You see the second pack as well. The artist actually has. Yeah, I do. I have both sets, um, and I threw them a few dollars too because I was like, that is a lot of work to just give away for free. Um, 1 second, I have to let Nika in. Were you just barking at me to get the cat in here? Come. Yes, I sent her away. Sneaky like that. You know this. I'm sneaky like that. Wanna go outside? Come on, camera. Come on back over here. The camera definitely gets confused. Hey, Poppers. You're okay, girl. All right, pizza ordered. Yay! Most important mission accomplished. Um. Oh, I see what I did. I was like, where is all the rest of these letters? The A through I was missing. It was just in another folder. Ooh, it's cold outside. You want to go out, or you just want to be here? Okay. I've got the door open, so it's a little chilly behind me, but that's okay. Um, thank you for the confetti. When I couldn't see you, it got so sad and looked down. Yes, it does that. It tries to shut down basically and go into sleep mode, uh, which is kind of funny. Uh, but yeah, if I deactivate it, um, I actually really like it because my Logitech cameras are fixed. Oops, there we go. So like this camera, it has a cover on it, but I have to control the cover separately. And this one's active, so it's blue. On the Brio, it has one tiny dot that lights up white to tell me it's on. And still, it doesn't have a cover on it. So I will be sometimes sitting here and just be nervous that I'm being watched. And I'll turn it and I'll just aim it over here at the box of gray, and be like, nope, nothing to see here. Can't watch me. Wait, I just scooted my chair in. I don't have anything. You know this. I have not been to the kitchen today. Okay, so we're going to start with this one. Your camera can't come out of sleep mode without you cycling the power. Um, Other ones are that way. The OBSBot actually has separate settings because of its application, where you can turn it on and off. It has its own built-in virtual camera settings, so you can actually use it as a virtual camera in multiple apps instead of just using the camera where it gets locked to a specific application. So it has some other functionality that's pretty cool, aside from the AI stuff and being 4K and all that. Um, but but yeah, I've been really happy with it. Obviously, we use it for our kitchen streams. Um, I'm I'm enjoying having it as the face cam because I don't have to worry about it constantly. Like I was constantly moving the Brio, and now it's just off. It's just sitting there. Otherwise, there's no front visible way of knowing except but looking into the lens and seeing if the shutter is open. Oh, it has a physical shutter. That's cool because a lot of webcams don't have a physical shutter built in. Um, they're just always open to the light. Oh, you use a DSLR. Oh, that makes a very big difference. And now I'm jealous. Uh, okay, so I'm gonna start here with our frames, and basically, if we're doing an emote for Twitch, 30 frames is usually about as high as you want to go. I want to say that they'll let you go to 60. I'd have to look at their documentation again, for the requirements, but they do limit the number of times that you can have frame flashes per second, um, just because it can get a little too crazy, as well as seizure risks, things like that for other people. So you want to keep those things in mind. Um, but we won't be going that far. We can probably do this emote in about 10 to 15. Nah, redo that line. Wait. It's not 1080 as a webcam, which is also why your video feed's in 4:3 ratio. Okay, excellent. Hi, I scooted back. That's all you wanted. You just really want my attention? Hi. Yeah. You just bumped my arm. I can't draw with you bumping my arm. It doesn't work that way. I think this will be good too because practicing hands will just be good in general. I'm like, I want the line to get thinner up there, trying to figure it out. Ugh, hands are awful. You were kicking yourself at putting in two hands into the cart. Yeah, I can absolutely imagine that, that's a tough thing to do. I have in maybe in one of the notepads I still have, uh I did a bit of a hand study trying to figure out just different shapes and stuff. Um, but the one that I have, I think I put it in the Discord, and I should actually digitize it and then trace over it to make sure that it's actually retained because it's pencil and it's fading. Um, but the hand in that picture is my own hand, and I just kept looking at my hand, just picturing it and going, okay, the nails are there, there's creases there, and trying to draw it, and then like putting down my pen, looking at it, picking it up, drawing a next little tiny bit, and comparing and contrasting as I went, which is not the way to do that. Oh, that was so close. I mean, those are more realistic looking ears, but that's not exactly what we're going for here. Hey, if you open this one up, oh, they had a bunch of options on this one. Bunny ears, cat ears, or wolf ears, pointy ears on the character to make elf ears, and little horns. You actually created a sticker design by doing a hand study with your own hand. Turned out really cute. Oh, nice. Love that. That is a fantastic idea. Thank you to whoever pushed that button. Thank you, Lydia. I actually met this person. I meet a lot of people in the music industry, but she was a little bigger than most people that I meet. Um, when I met her, she played Lilith Fair on a side stage, which was baffling to me. I think it was Lilith Fair. Do, 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 do. This was like right when I first came out. Oh my god, I hate this picture, but I'm going to show you anyway. Like I threw away that shirt as soon as I got home. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, this is actually funny. So the purse that I'm carrying in this video or in this picture, did I take it out of my office? Finally? Oh no, it's a different one. Where is it? It is a different one. Okay, I thought it was the one that I just bought. Um, because I had a purse, I sold it, got rid of it, and then I wanted to get a new purse this year, and so I bought one in a like upscale thrift consignment store, and I walked around it for like an hour only to buy a purse that I had previously had. I was like looking through it, I'm like, is this my own purse? Okay, fine. Go outside. Shutting the door. What's your tail? She followed me over to the door like she was going to go out and then did a loop around me and went out the outside door instead. Like she was going to go into the house and then was like, never mind, I want to go outside after all. Okay, so that gets our first pose. Oh, Cameron. Okay, let's duplicate the layer. Nika, stop barking at the neighbors. No. I said stop barking at the neighbors, not bark louder. There's no alerts on the cameras. You're fine. Oh, I think. No, that's the back camera, isn't it? Yeah. I was like, is that the pizza? No, it's just Nika dancing in front of a camera. It bugs me that they don't have noses, so I feel like I have to add a nose, even though that one's a little higher than I would want it. 2 dark. I'll see if she'll behave and keep her in the room for a minute. Okay, so there's Burn just to do some shadows on this one, and then I'm gonna dodge. I'm not gonna do the like color in on all of these. I'm just gonna do it for this one, and then we'll do the frames and worry about coloring later. What? Yeah, maybe it's a little weird. Some of those lines definitely don't need to be there. But that's okay. I can always just grab the paintbrush, and if I don't like any of them, just be like, never happened. It was never here. Because it's just a highlight with any shadow. It looked weird. Um, and it's fine that they're 2D. So let's do that's frame one. And we can hide this one away now. Oh, I put that on the wrong layer. Whoops. That's fine. I'll worry about that all later. Like I said, I'm going to color them in after the fact, anyways. Um, So frame two. Can you hang out for a little bit, please? Please? Hmm? Okay, so now we want to go from, well, first we're going to get this frame drawn, and then we want to go kind of from the one we've got into the other one. So we'll get our sketch done here. In our blue, not in our skin tone there. Nika girl, stop. Sit. Right there. Ah, there we go. You ringing my doorbell out there? What are you doing? I actually parked in my driveway. They don't usually do that. I know, Nika. You're trying to tell me that there's somebody here, but they're going to be gone in like 2 seconds. They're just dropping off food. It's fine. So I like that they have the shoulder over here outside of the arm since we're now like leaning back. Okay, we'll give her a treat. She's not going to stop barking, but she is doing good things and trying to tell me that there's somebody here. And actually, I should go get my food. Oh, of course, the chat tool is going to disconnect, but luckily I have two chat windows open, so it's just the YouTube side that's doing a reset real quick. Back, back. That's not back. That's like right here. We do not need a note cam on chat. Whoa, wrong button. Alt, not shift. And you guys want to see her more than me. I know how this works. All right, Nika, the stage is yours. All yours, puppy. Am I zoomed in? No, that's the full view. Okay. I don't think I can zoom this one out. Let me see if I can. No, I don't have any zoom control. Okay. That's fine. I'm trying the other camera since I stole the one I've been using for the treat camera. You give me a pause up. Yeah, that's what I thought. Let's turn that up a little bit. Give me a pause up. Good girl. Give me a high five. There we go. Yeah. Yup, yup, yup. You're actually letting me hold your paw? Wow. I get a treat, she gets a treat. Exactly. Although she probably will get into my pizza if I'm honest. Um, I have my compost in the kitchen and I put a pizza box in it that had been in my fridge for a week. And the cats knocked it down and opened it up. And I went to check on them. And Nika bolts through the gate when I open it, grabs a piece of pizza, and runs back to the living room with like old pizza. And she just lays down and she's chewing on it like a bone, just happy as she could be. Give me another pause up. Oh, you got to stay up. Pause up. There you go. Good girl. Oh, you picked your head back up. You want to look at these? Look over here. Good girl. Good girl. Okay. Is it okay if I move back into the camera? Is that allowed? Was that good? Yeah. She already knows what she's getting for dinner too, because it's the same thing she got last night. And thank you, Amy, for the Nika treat redeem. Much appreciated. Okay, so if we go here, we don't really have an ear on this other side. Okay, I'm just gonna do this real quick because I am going to work on this one offline. But let's just really quickly. So again, I'm using Photoshop, but whatever tool you're using will have some sort of timeline, some frame animation, some button. You might have to look up the specifics on your tool, but in Photoshop, it's just the timeline. So window timeline, make this display. Easy enough. Create frame animation. For frame one, I actually want to have this frame visible. And we're going to turn this background layer off. And then I'm going to create a new frame. And I'm going to turn on frame two, turn off frame one. And that would be it. And so we end up with them switching between each other. And it really is that easy. It's just then filling in all of the other details. So I'm going to continue working on this one. I'm going to trace these out and everything else, but I see it's midnight and my dinner is currently on the front porch. So let's see who's on. Thank you again for the Nika treat. Thank you for hanging out, everyone. I know this has been a very different night from what we normally do. But this has been really fun too, doing the animation and looking at different things together. Have really, really been enjoying it. Um, and yeah, so we'll be back tomorrow. We're gonna be doing our holiday setup stuff. So we'll do some audio things, we'll do some visual things as we're getting ready for all of the different ideas there. Let's see. Do we have any? Our focus was kind of more on the art side. We do have some Legend of Zelda streamers. Nika, hang on, puppy. Almost there. Almost there. All right, hang on. Hang on just a minute. How cursed is this art?
Whoever wins, okay.
Okay, she's actually playing marbles.
Live right now. Oh no, no
They
Twitch
are
streamers.
actually. Oh,
No Twitch streamers, Ghost.
you guys can hear my system audio. I'm not used to that. I was like clicking around and I'm like, wait a minute, that's coming through. Um, She's been going quite a while. Oh, but she still has a paintbrush in hand. Okay, that's where we're going. Yes, Nika, I know. Hang on, puppy. We are so very close. All right, come on with us. We're going to go over and see Snow Peep, and hopefully they're not wrapping up because they just went to their chatting screen, but they still have the paintbrush in hand, so I'm counting on it. Um, Grab one of those raid messages. Snow Peep is an artist. I know them through the Nurse Huckleberry's Nice Ladies stream team, and they do some paintings. So they are currently actually painting on a ukulele um, that they decided to do. So they're doing some flowers and stuff like that on the back of the body of the ukulele, which is really fun. So yeah, please do join us over there. We'll be back tomorrow, like I said, doing some holiday streaming setup stuff because next weekend is going to be our holiday streams and lots of chaos. Join us on the 23rd, where I'm at. Uh, oh yeah, Discord, socials, buttons, things. I can type, really. Join us in the Discord if you're not. We've got the events over there and follow us on all the socials and we'll try to post on them. But yeah, we're going to be getting all of the stuff ready to go for our holiday streams next weekend. So that'll be tomorrow. Sorry about your head, Samsara. Jai, congrats on keeping yours. Annie, congrats on getting first. We're going to get out of here. We'll see you again on your own channels for the many of you that stream on all the channels we hang out in together. And back here again soon. And until then, bye.